Welcome to the world-famous game show, Nukes and Dukes. I'm your host, Haley Bradley, and I'm so happy you can join us today. Today, we have four very special guests joining us. Representing the capitalists, we have Douglas MacArthur and Harry Truman.
Sir, Mr. President will do fine, thank you.
Well, Sir, Mr. President it is then. Anyway, before I was so rudely interrupted, our last two contestants representing the communists consist of Joseph Stalin and Mr. Mao Zedong.
Why can't there be another communist member? I fly all the way to America to just on a stupid game show? No, I refuse to go.
But, Mr. Stalin, you are allied with Mr. Zedong today.
Well, you could at least give me a partner that speaks English.
Stop your dang whining, you dumb pansy.
Gentlemen, enough. Please let Miss Bradley continue.
Thank you, Mr. President Truman. Continuing on, the wages are high today as we play for world domination and the ability to control nuclear weapons. For every question answered correctly, you will get 2 nukes. If you're answered wrong, however, one town in your home country will get nuked. You will also notice the guns that are rested in front of you. And you, Mr. Stalin, you're not allowed to take a detour on the way back to Russia and shoot Mr. Churchill.
Tybrisko Credo Crusso.
Okay. As I was explaining the purpose of the guns. Continuing on, we do not use buzzers in Nukes and Dukes, but guns. Should you know the answer to the question, you'll pick up the firearm and commence firing it in the air one time to answer the question. Whoever can fire fastest will be given the opportunity to answer the question. So, without further ado, let's commence. Who can explain what the Truman Doctrine is?
A stupid American policy.
I'm sorry, Mr. Stalin, that is incorrect. Mr. Truman, seeing as how you created it, can you tell us about the policy?
Yes, Miss Bradley, I'd be happy to. The Truman Doctrine is the policy in which the United States will support any free people of the world who are resisting communism by armed powers or outside forces.
That's correct. 2 warheads for the capitalists.
Wait, you think you can do this to communism? I refuse.
I'm sorry, Mr. Stalin, but that's not the correct answer.
Well, you could have at least stopped him.
Why would I? You were the dang hag that fired me anyway.
I say, my good sir.
Okay, next question. What was the Berlin airlift and what happened as a result of it?
The Berlin airlift was the efforts of the fine American servicemen bringing food, oil, and other necessities across the nation all the way to Europe, in which they gave to the German people under communist control. Oh, and some Brits helped too, but I still say America is the one that falls for this con act. Stand down, you commie.
Okay, then you both answered correctly, so 1 nuke for each of you. Third question. What is NATO?
NATO is an organization that stands for the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. It was headed by none other than the Douglas MacArthur. Oh wait, that's me. But then I got fired. Anyway, it was formed by the UN in regards to the communist threat and became basically a world military power.
Correct. Another 2 warheads for the capitalists. Mr. Stalin, it has come to my attention that you are way behind the capitalists in nuclear weapons, just as much as your communist nations prosper compared to the capitalists. In other words, you just don't. So we have come up with a bonus question for you. What is the Warsaw Pact?
First off, us communist nations, we do prosper, just not as much. Secondly, the Warsaw Pact was Russia's reaction to NATO. We did not support capitalism, but rather it fall to Russia's proud group of communist powers. It made up of 8, I repeat 8 powerful countries, but then it died down and fell apart.
Very well, Mr. Stalin. That is 3 nuclear warheads for you and Mr. Zedong. And Mr. MacArthur and President Truman have 5 nuclear warheads. Continuing on, can anyone tell me who Ethel and Julius Rosenberg were?
I'll tell you who they were. They were beloved people to me, and how I missed the Rosenbergs. Without them exposing the secrets of American nuclear warheads, where would I be? Or better yet, where would my successor, Nikita Khrushchev, be? Where would he be?
Well, Mr. Stalin, I'm sorry for your loss, but seeing as how you answered was your confession, I can only accept 5 to 5, and Russia so far with only 1 city nuked. What was HUAC?
The House of Un-American Activities Committee can be given credit to the infamous Joseph McCarthy, It was really just an investigation into the lives of members of the U.S. House of Representatives in suspicion that a few were spies or had communist spies. Instead, we turned up zilts.
That's correct, Mr. President. You're very good at knowing the history behind your country.
What are you talking about? I own the country. I think I know a thing or two about it.
Very well, Mr. President. Mr. Zedong, we have not heard very much out of you today. Can you tell us who Chiang Kai-shek was and how he came to power?
That's okay, as long as Baldy keeps his mouth shut, I'm fine.
Well then, what was the Marshall Plan?
Another stupid American plan?
No, you dummy. It was George Marshall's plan, constructed from the U.S., and it actually won him the Nobel Peace Prize. It stated that any countries looking for economic aid during the time of the Communist Party, as well as the aftermath of World War II, could receive it from the U.S. to build stronger economic foundations.
But you guys really do hate us. Give us a chance. You might like us.
That is correct, and back on top leading is the United States. As we are running short on time, I'd like to ask each of you your opinion on terrorism and how it can be compared to the Cold War. Mr. Truman, we'll start with you.
I believe the communist threat was a serious one, just as terrorism is today. The United States will continue to oppress it in many ways and continue to be a light to those in defiance of such things. I also believe there are peaceful ways in dealing with both threats, and that should it ever come to drastic measures, war is always an unfortunate opinion.
Stop it.
I hate capitalism. I want nothing more done to choke it out. Same as terrorism. Choke out the cowards out of their caves and shoot them like dogs they are. There's only one way this world can be ruled. Direct orders from one person. If anyone failing to follow me will be shot, I say.
Mr. Zedong. And Mr. MacArthur, what did you think we should have done?
We should have nuked them, but Stupido next to me just had to fire me. I say we still nuke them, and do the same to the terrorists that are hiding in the caves. You just can't fix stupid.
I kill you now. You pushed us to the brink of war. Because of you, we were prepared to attack or defend. Because of you, now there's a domino effect. You are the reason why nations surrounded by communism fall to communism. It is your fault that the Iron Curtain and its people were kept under what's known as containment. I refuse to let you bash communism anymore. I kill you now.
You do, and you're gonna find that pipe shoved so far down your throat and that mustache ripped off. I swear it.
That's all we have time for today. Thanks for joining us on Nukes and Dukes. The final score being 11 for capitalists and 5 for communists, with 2 cities destroyed in the process. Thanks again, and see you next time on Nukes and Dukes.